Welcome to another edition of Vinyl Conversations. Hello, group. How's everyone out there doing today? Thank you for joining us this evening. You know how we do. We do special lives during the week in the evening time around 6 p.m. So we thank you guys for taking the time to come out today. So as you know, Vinyl Conversations is the home to where we talk about what they were really talking about on that track. So, whatever medium it is, we'll talk about it. And of course, we are your hosts. I'm Latifah, and that's Tamarisha over there. Tam, say hi to the people.
What's up, y'all?
All right. So look, we got to get the disclaimer stuff out the way. So we're going to get this out. We do not own the rights to this music. It's for entertainment, educational purpose only. We do not own the rights to it. So please don't mute us while we play an intro to the song. Facebook,
we do not own the rights to this music. It is for educational and entertainment purposes only. That's it.
That part. So without further ado, we're going to bring in our special guest today into the evening portion of Vinyl Conversation. Please welcome the legendary Masta Ace to the show.
What up, y'all?
Yay!
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm great.
That's good.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today in this special edition, which all of the editions are special, but this one's special too.
It's extra special. It's Masta Ace extra special today.
That part. We got a legend in the building. All right, so look, without further ado, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna play under a minute of the song that we're gonna talk about the lyrics on, and then after that we'll go into the lyrics. So here we go.
Usually my smile stay locked away, but not today. I have to laugh on the real aftermath, kinda ill like I'm Dr. Dre. Sometimes I run to the club and get faded. This game make you get jaded. I just hate it. But this song is a different kind of feeling. It's a new kind of dealing. It's a special kind of healing. And I can show what it is. Best flow in the biz, you know what it is. Positive over negative, see the ace of master. Even when I face disaster, I rise up above. See people still showing me love. Got the respect without dropping a check. This hip hop thing might stop in a sec. So this brand new hit, you popping the deck. It's beautiful. So inside yourself, something you never felt. Feeling like nothing else. But sometimes goes beyond your mind. It's beautiful.
All right, I think we safe there. We safe there.
We safe there. So that's Beautiful by Masta Ace. I got one question before we go into the lyrics. That beat though,
Man.
like who did that?
Producer by the name of Kool-Aid. He's actually from Croatia. And up until the point that we worked together, I didn't know that there were people in Croatia that even knew what hip hop was or made hip hop.
Right.
And
What?
yeah, and became very cool. His manager, a guy named Fat Philly, who's a very well-known DJ in Zagreb, Croatia, and he's actually brought us out to do shows, perform in Zagreb a few times over the years. And so, those dudes are like family now. That song came out in 2004. And I met them I met Fat Philly in 2001, and Kool-Aid produced on my album Disposable Arts, and then Beautiful was like our second collaboration.
Yeah, to me it has this like for me it has like a West Coast like.
Yep, I was gonna say that.
I was like I'm like yo like that has this like this West Coast familiarity. That's just to me like that's a dope beat though. Like for you to say Croatia, I just knew you was gonna say somebody on the West Coast. I really just did. Like so.
Nah, man, he's incredible producer.
Yeah, it's
All right.
definitely the track is definitely banging. Like she said, you know, and we're from the West, so it was just like right when you hear it, it's like, oh wait, hold up. You know, like you're in the car, the windows is down or the drop top, and it's summer, so it was like that. It was like a summer type vibe too.
And
So it's,
Yeah.
that
definitely
song was on my album A Long Hot Summer, so it fits.
Oh
exactly.
yeah, see, look at that. That's awesome. Now, what are the chances of that? That's like that. That's real West Coast summer. And then you mentioned Dr. Dre, so I'm waiting. I'm waiting for it to stop. I'm like, yo, like it has to be a West Coast beat. Like he talk about Dr. Dre in the song. Like, wait, no, I wouldn't expect that. I wasn't expecting like Croatia. Like you said, like they still the people like live there. I thought they just lived off the island. Like y'all listening to music. But yeah, I get what you're saying about that.
All right, you're gonna
So
go ahead and go into the
yeah, I'm gonna go into these first lyrics. I'm not gonna like.
right.
I feel like I'm not gonna try to rap this. I'm just gonna really just.
This is going to be interesting because I've never really analyzed the words that I wrote all those years ago. Like this is something that I've never done before, so I'm really curious to see how this is going to go.
What?
What?
I you did good.
So it just says it starts out with yeah. So BK Uptown, Boogie Down Queens. It's beautiful. Listen, I got a lot to say. Usually my smile stay locked away, but not today. I have to laugh. On the real, the aftermath kind of like I'm Dr. Dre. Sometimes I run to the club and get faded. It's funny how you get jaded. I just hate it. I just hate it. But this song gives different kind of feeling. It's a new kind of dealing. It's a special kind of healing. And I can show you what it is. Best flow in the biz. You know what it is. Wait, oh my bad. Anyway, so positive or negative, see the ace of master, even when I face disaster. That's right, I rise above. See people still showing me love. Get the respect without dropping the check. This hip hop thing might stop in a sec. So this is the brand newest. You can pop in the deck. It's beautiful. So
Look,
Where did you get those
I gotta
lyrics?
ask, like, what was going on? It kind of feels like there was a transition, like you was going through a transition in your life of something.
Um,
Like,
no, to be honest, this is one of the songs. As soon as I was inspired to write these lyrics based on how the music sounded. The same way you guys said you got like a feeling when you heard the music.
mhm.
When I heard the music, it just sounded beautiful to me, and so I just started. I said I'm gonna try to write about. I'm just gonna try to list things that are beautiful in my world. What I see as being beautiful, and so I just I set out to try to paint a picture for the listener of all of these different things that maybe to the average eye might not necessarily be beautiful, but to me they are.
So when you talk about usually your smile stays locked away. So you saying, of course, everybody think a smile is beautiful, but it's one of those things that you only like most people only hear their smile is beautiful when somebody trying to run game. Like a dude like, man, like you girl, you got a beautiful smile. You know what I mean? So when you saying usually my smile stays locked away, um,
Well, if
but
you
not
if
today. I have to laugh.
yeah, if you've ever seen pictures of me, Instagram, wherever, I'm not a big smiler. Um,
Right.
so that's just my usual face. Is I'm just kind of like very stoic with my face. I'm not. And that comes from the neighborhood that I grew up in. Like you couldn't be walking around happy, smiling, and because people would just take that for weakness, and it could be bad for you. So I just kind of grew up just with a hard edge and just keeping my ice grill on all the time. But what I was saying is that this song, this music, makes me want to smile, even though I'm usually not smiling. This type of music that will make me smile.
Okay.
And and all right. And so with them, you know how you said with them bringing you this beat, like how did that happen? Like they reached out to you and they presented the beat to you, or how did that actually happen?
So, like I mentioned, Kool-Aid had produced a song for me on my album Disposable Arts. And so typically back then, what we would do is we would kind of like do trades.
Oh,
So
okay.
rather than exchange cash, it would be like, okay, you give me a beat and I'll give you a verse or a song for your label. And so the payback was this song that I was gonna do for them. But when I heard the music, I was like, yo, this got to be on my album. Like I know this is for y'all, but I need this. And so we made a deal where they released their version of the song. It's the same. Their version has no chorus. They liked it better
Mm.
without a chorus because the original recording there was no chorus. But once they gave me the thumbs up that I could put it on my album, I put Wordsworth on the chorus and just kind of like took it to the next level. So there's actually two versions of this song that are out. There's their version with the original vocals because I did the very first time I recorded it. I don't know, that day was just very raspy or whatever, but they liked how the vocals sounded on that mix better. I like the new vocals better. So the one you played is from my album, and I prefer that vocal performance better. So their version has a different vocal performance, but it's the same lyrics.
Oh, okay.
So when you say sometimes I run to the club and get faded, it's funny how you get jaded, you just hate it.
Yeah,
But this song gets a different kind of feeling.
yeah, the lyric actually is the game makes you get jaded. I just hate it. So I'm talking
Oh,
about the game meaning the music game. You should start to just kind of feel like, you know, none of this is really what it appears to be, and you start to see it for what it is. And so when you get to that point where you're just down on everything, this song is the thing that can lift you up and make you feel better about everything that's happening around you.
Right. It's even relevant to like today with everything that's going on. Because literally, like I didn't play this song like 5 times today.
That's cool. That's real cool.
So it's feel good. It's feel good music, and
Word.
that's definitely what's needed.
Absolutely.
it,
Um,
it's definitely a brighter of days, like a brighten up your summer day.
when I perform in Europe, in particular, this is one of those songs that I save to the end because it's a fan favorite, and there's fans that only come to the concert to hear that song.
Oh wow.
So it's one of those
Wow.
songs. It's one of those songs that I couldn't ever leave the stage and not perform. Like even if they said, "Listen, your time is shorter than expected. You're supposed to do an hour. You only can do 45 minutes. In that 45 minutes, I have to make sure that Beautiful is one of the songs."
Wow.
That's pretty damn awesome. So when you say there are fans that only come there for Beautiful, like how do you like is that just from feedback from fans, or did somebody just actually tell you like, we only go to the show for Beautiful?
So, what I do after my shows is I come out the to the main club area and we set up a merch table. So I always go to the merch table and I'm there. I'm fully accessible. People want to take pictures. They want to say hello, get something
Mm.
signed. I just make myself accessible. And that's where I hear a lot of these comments. Like it's usually, a lot of it seems to be very popular with women more so. But guys like the song too, but don't get me wrong. But I just know a lot of women come up and they're like, I just, I was here, I came here and I just was praying that you would do that song. Like they don't know that I do that song every show. They're not knowing if it's going to be done now because I have a lot of songs in my catalog, but they don't know a lot of times that yes, for sure that song is getting done. But it's kind of because I save it to like
Mm.
towards the end, and so I just it's the perfect time for the song, and when it finally comes on, you see the energy in the room just like go up a couple of notches.
Right.
That's awesome. I can see how that is. It's just one of those songs like you gotta nod your head and you gotta I mean, like you said, for women, you feel beautiful. You feel like when he's rapping, he's talking to me. So I'm
Right,
with that.
and that.
Yeah.
And that's probably why the majority of them can relate to it too, because it's that type of vibe, and and they're feeling it that way.
Right. And
Definitely feel that.
if you listen to the words, the song isn't really about physical beauty
Right.
or whatever. It's about other things that are a little bit more abstract. And that was kind of the point of the song.
It's for it to be abstract. Well, let's go into the second verse, and we apologize about not having the right lyrics. So if in the second
That's
one
all
there's
right.
wrong lyrics, let us know too. I think that's the first where someone's like, "Nah, who got these lyrics on the internet? Take them out." Okay, so it says, "Yeah, this is the brand new Uptown, still in the box. Yes, this is Yankees 10-0, killing the Sox. This ain't hugging the block with a gat in your hand. This is on the catamaran. Sorry, I can't read. With the sun beaming down while you sat in the sand."
I have an idea. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
How about if I recite the lyrics the way you're doing it, but I actually give you the lyrics, and then we talk about it.
Absolutely.
Even better.
Okay.
You're not gonna get no complaints. He's like, stop fucking up my song.
You're struggling a little bit, but it's all right. So while I'm reciting it, read along so you can see the things that they screwed up.
Absolutely.
All right. So verse 2 goes, "This is brand new Uptowns, still in the box. This is Yankees 10-0, killing the Sox. This ain't hugging the block with a gat in your hand. This is Boca Raton on a catamaran, with the sun beaming down where you at in the sand. I feel like I'm more than a cat with a plan. This feels like it's more than a flash in the pan. This is milk in the cup and cash in your hand. This is a warm coat on the coldest night. That's why I stole this mic. Y'all don't hold this right. Nope. First in a class of many. This is a bottle of Jack. No, a glass of Henny. Now drink it up till it ain't nothing left in it. I'm repping it. BK, that's a definite. Just more of these amazing rhymes. A song like this in these days and times is beautiful."
Right. I could never did it. I would never sounded like that. Just go ahead and say it.
Look, and plus, like he was saying, like some of that, as far as the lyrics that we got, it's not, it's not lining up. But nah, like even that part in the beginning where you say, yeah, this is the brand new Uptown, still in the box. So what if people don't really know, those are shoes, right?
White,
Those are Uptown,
white on the white on whites, just getting that brand new that box and opening them up and seeing them shiny, looking just crisp, like before they get any creases in them. It's
Yeah, I didn't know what that was, so thanks. I'm just like, Uptown, is that a city? Like the city is right?
It's Nike Air Force Ones.
It's the Air Force One. Okay.
Dr. Dre exclusively wears those, so if you don't know, just find a picture of Dr. Dre. He definitely has a pair on. He's got like 100 pair. He wears them every day, and always. I think he breaks out a new pair every day.
I mean, wow. Yeah, I can see that. And
so let's talk about it.
So you say, go ahead, Laura.
Yeah. So you say, this ain't hugging the block with a gat in your hand.
Yeah.
So in reference to that, you're chilling on the block, but it's more of a cool vibe, not with the gat in your hand. Like expand on that.
So what I'm saying is this song isn't that, like, because there's plenty of songs about hugging the block, holding a gun. This ain't that. This is the opposite of that. So I'm while in some parts of the rhyme I'm telling you what it is, I'm also telling you what it's not. So this song is not this ain't a gun song. This ain't a gangbanger song. This is something else.
Right. I can see it because you and sometimes you do explain it like this is not this, this is this.
Yeah.
Like I want you to know that it's not this, but I still want you to understand what I'm telling you is not this, but I'm giving you an example of what it is that I'm telling you. When you talk about, okay, that lyric was wrong, but talking about the catamaran, like you're saying, like, yo, this is definitely the total opposite of holding a
Ab-
gun in your hand. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You
It's the
laying in the
total
sun.
opposite.
You laying
Right.
in the sand on. You laying in the sand under the sun, or on a catamaran cruising with a great breeze and a little bit of ocean spraying up on your body to cool you off. That's
Right.
what
No,
this
no need
is.
for a gag. You this
Exactly.
is real. It's beautiful. Like
Yeah, it
Exactly.
is.
it's beautiful.
Exactly.
And most people that hold a gat in their hand, they don't know anything about the catamaran. You know, like if they know, they don't expect to ever, have that kind of peace or that kind of beauty in their life. So that's a lot right
But
there in itself.
they can listen to this song and escape to that place.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, right. Let me just Google catamaran so I can understand what that is. Like, yeah, it is. It's definitely one of those things. Because then you talked about the sun beaming down while you sit in the sand. So that definitely is that. And then you say, I feel like I'm more than a cat with a plan. Um, so was that a thing? So he would just thought you like. Is there a lot of men with just a plan but no action?
Well, that was really like a setup line, so that I could say the next line. It feels like it's more than a flash in the pan. Like this is not something. This is not fly by night. This is something. This is longevity, and
Mm-hmm.
and longevity is a beautiful thing. And I'm really talking about my career on that lyric. Um, so I have a plan. I am a cat with a plan, but I feel like I'm more than that. And so, um, yeah, that I'm talking about the longevity of what I've been doing musically.
I can
and,
see it.
and and with you saying that, you have been in it for a long time. Like the longevity is there. So how do you maintain that? Like how did that come about?
Just being consistent and continuing to put music out. Like I wouldn't be touring these countries the way I am if I was not dropping new music. It's because of the new music. Like some artists, they have this great catalog that happened early in their career, like maybe first two albums, they had a couple of huge hip hop classics, hits that everybody knows, and that they can tour forever off of those one or two or three records that everybody knows. For me, it was a different route. For me, it was dropping full projects that resonated with people. My albums tell a story, and people who have the patience to sit down and listen to a complete album and not just skim through songs, they get an experience. And because of the types of albums that I put out, it's created a fan base of people that just love what I do with my writing and my creativity on my projects, and that's why I've continued to tour and continue to be active. And it's the consistently dropping new music that has sustained me over all these years.
Do
So
you also
go
do
ahead.
you also think that it's more over in Europe than the States? Like, is it more, the longevity is more consistent there, or?
Well, see, the states is we are very much reliant on the radio and commercial outlets. If it's not a lot of most people in the US don't know about songs if they're not on the radio, and if they're not seeing it on TV or on the radio, hearing it on the radio, they don't know that it exists. And that's really a sad statement for our people, because people in Europe, they find the music. They don't have radio stations like us. Most of the music they play is rapping and singing in their language. But these young people, they use the internet and they find this music and they share it with each other. It's like grassroots word of mouth. Yo, I just got this album. It's dope. Check it out. Pass it to a friend. Remember the old days of Napster when dudes would
Right.
share music. That's what happens in Europe, and they actually support. Like they're not looking to get your music for free. They go and they buy it. Like they got, okay, where can I buy it? I like it. I want to buy it. Whereas here in the States, everybody wants the freebie. Let me get a promo. Hook a brother up.
Right.
Right.
And so for those reasons, and for an artist like myself, it's been more fruitful to travel abroad outside of the United States, whether it's Canada, whether it's Australia, whether it's Europe. It's been a lot more, more fruitful. South America, even.
That's dope. So when you talk about longevity, I just want to ask how long is long? Like how long have you been doing this?
So the first record that had my voice on it came out in '88, but my first album didn't drop until 1990.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever that math is, 30 years.
I'm over here like
That's
10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. It's 30 years and 30 years of longevity is outstanding.
Thank you.
I don't care who is buying it or who is supporting you. It's all the support over 30 years. And
right.
and for us to be able to sit here and talk with you is even more amazing. I was like, yeah, like he got time for this? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I
you know
mean,
what I mean? Like,
it's a
it's just
pandemic,
one of
right?
those things.
Everybody's home. Everybody's home, pretty
Everybody's home.
much. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Everybody is home. And I just want to say that is outstanding because 30 years in the game is unheard of. That's like 30-year marriages. You're like, you've been married 30 for years. Like how does that happen? You know what I mean? Like back in the day it was a regular thing. Nowadays people like, yeah, I was married 2 years. I was married 5 years. Like 30. Oh, okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a few cats. LL Cool J's been in the game that long. He's been in the game longer than me, actually. Um, but he went more into the acting route. Like he doesn't really drop a lot of new music anymore. That's the difference. Like I had to keep dropping new music in order to remain in the spotlight of fans, because fans forget, like, especially now when it's a microwave era, like people just, they on to the next thing. Like, oh, he put something out, oh, that's cool, that's nice, I like it. 2 weeks later, yo, when you putting something else out? Man, I just dropped the album. What you
Real
talking about?
talk.
Right.
Real talk. That is real talk. Like that is not fake, y'all. That's for real. Like, because the attention span is not.
Yeah,
Dude. Attention
exactly.
span. Like before, we bumped albums for 3 years. I'm playing Mary J. Blige my life, and it's 20 some odd years later, and I'm still playing that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like they ain't got that. Like what CD do? Like, and I'm not harping on young kids. That's just the way that they are now. Like
Yeah,
it's all about. I can't even imagine what it's like. The demand, like I ain't got enough supply for the demand, guys. I'm just gonna put something out there. They want you to just put everything you've ever done out there. When I know that as an artist, you have to feel good with what you're putting out there. You can't just put stuff out there because somebody is saying, "Ah, man, it's been 2 weeks." Like, well, then you gonna wait, until I put something that I can stand behind. Because you can put out things that you don't stand behind, stuff you was just messing around with, but you can't just put anything out there and
That's right.
expect it to be, because you have a reputation, whether people understand that or not. We all have reputations, and you can't just put something out because somebody wants you to. Like that's not how that goes. So
Exactly.
All right, so look,
congratulations.
I gotta ask this, and this was, and this is a classic joint along with, with your others, but the symphony,
Yeah.
that how did that come about?
Wow. So that song is from a compilation album called Marley
Right.
Marlin Control Volume 1. Have you ever seen the vinyl? He's like a pilot. He's on the cover, and then when you flip it over, it's the whole Juice Crew standing by this jet. It's like a private jet. And so the day of that photo shoot for that cover, I overheard that Marley was going back to his house to record one final song for the album with. It was supposed to be a song with Coogee Rap and Big Daddy Kane, like a duet, like them going back and forth.
Mhm.
And so I wanted to really just tag along. I was like really just curious to hear this new record and hear what they were going to spit. And so Craig G wanted to go as well. He needed a ride over. So I was like, I'll drive you. So I took him over there, and really, I was just being nosy. I just wanted to just be in the room and hear these dudes do their thing. So somewhere along that process, Craig kind of got Marley's ear or spoke to Kane or something, and kind of was like, "Yo, can I get on this song?" So they agreed to let Craig be on the song, even though it was supposed to be a duet. Like, okay, Craig, you could be on the song. So they're all sitting there writing their verses, and I'm just sitting back, like just waiting patiently to hear these dope rhymes I know I'm gonna hear. And then when it came time for somebody to go in the booth and rhyme, they were all passing the buck. Kane was like, "Yo, let G Rap go first." G Rap was like, "Let Craig go first." And so they were all passing the buck. And then Marley just out of nowhere just looks over at me. "Yo, Ace, you got a verse for this?" I was like, yeah, I got something. He's like, "Yo, just go in there and like warm up the mic a little bit. These guys acting scared." I was like, "All right." So I went in the booth and I spit something that I walked around with like 12 verses memorized all the time. Because in New York back then, you had to be ready for any situation. Dudes always want to test you, challenge you, come at you. So you got to have rhymes ready. So I went in the booth and spit one of my memorized joints. And after I was done, then everybody kind of went in one by one and did their thing. But I don't think there was an intention on keeping me on the song. I think it was just a way to kind of warm those guys up. But what happened was, Marley, Kane talked and G Rap talked to Marley on the side. And he was like, "Yo," they were calling me Glasses. I didn't know this till they were called because I had these glasses. So my nickname to them privately was Glasses. And according to Kane, he's like, "Yo, Glasses kind of nice. Yo, you can keep them on the joint. Yo, keep Glasses on there. You sound kind of dope." And so that it's so funny for me to not know this until like currently, like this last year or two, I'm finding out that these dudes is calling me Glasses all the
time. That's a dope ass story though. Like that had to like just seeing like this show is so that things like that can be said and people were like, I'm sitting here like, man, that had to be great. And then for this to even try to imagine how you felt when they were like, yeah, just keep them on the track. Like,
but I didn't know any of that happened. I didn't know
until later.
Yeah, I found that out years later. I had no idea that there was like a separate conversation on the side about me being on the song. I didn't think I was being kept on the song. He was just like, when I left, I thought it was just a scratch vocal that they were gonna, get rid of and put people in order, whatever. I didn't find out till after the fact, way after the fact, that they kept me on the song.
Look, and that's a classic. It's a classic joint, and it's good that they kept you on. And it's crazy because in the group, this is maybe like 3 weeks ago, there was a comment in every that was posted, and we were talking about this song, and they were talking about the whole like the lyrics, like each person's lyrics, and who do you think went first? And you just explained it right there.
Yeah.
That's a dope story though, you know what I mean? And the fact that you just found out that they was calling you a different name behind your back. Like, so y'all just referred to me as Glasses. Oh, I mean, okay.
Right.
That's an awesome story. Before we get into the third verse, before you spit that one, I just want to talk about this one line because I kind of felt that. Mm-hmm. Well, two lines. When you said, "This is a warm coat on the coldest night. This is why I stole this mic. Y'all don't hold this right." Like I felt that because that applies right now. Like right now, they ain't holding the mic right.
Right. So
like that.
That line was really a that was me being the MC, jumping into a little braggadocio moment on a song that wasn't about braggadocio at all. But I just you got to throw those lines in there to kind of flex a little bit. So that was just a little quick flex, but it was really off topic of what the song was about.
It's still a dope flex though. I liked it. Yeah, like, it worked. It worked for me. Like y'all don't hold the mic right. I was like, oh, he clowning. I like it. like I felt what you were saying. Like it don't go, but it does. It's like, yeah, he said it. Y'all ain't holding this mic right. Like I got to get that line out there to make y'all understand that you're not doing this right, and that's why I'm doing it. So Sometimes you
And
gotta
it's
take control.
very, very relevant today. Very relevant today.
Man, they are not holding the mic right. Can we get these mics back?
Right.
Let me stop talking about people. No disrespect to any future guests. Like, you can come on. You holding the mic right if you're gonna come on the show. All right, so third verse.
Third verse. The most beautifulest thing ever, and it's here to bring terror to the bling era. You can feel it in your inner. It's like grandma's house Thanksgiving dinner. It's like a day in the park or at night when you get the ball and you play in the dark. It's that street corner music where most cats, when they pull that heat, go and use it. I see a black man aiming his gun, but I'd rather see a black man claiming his son. You know the sound is pretty, even when you got to get down and gritty. This is money in the bank, like you down with Diddy. It's a helicopter ride around the city, and we love it because it brought us here. It's a young mother braiding her daughter's hair. It's beautiful.
Man, that's awesome.
All right, guys, show over. He said what he said. That was deep.
Yeah,
the references in itself are like, when you were saying it, I was picturing it. You know what I mean? Like I was visualizing what you were saying, and it's like, yo, those are dope. Those are really dope. I don't know what to call them because I'm stuck right now because I don't know what else to say. Go on.
And
no,
none
it's
of that,
really
none of that
like
was about
as
physical beauty.
But say again, I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying none of that referenced physical beauty at all.
No, but it's beautiful.
That's right.
Right, but you get that type of vibe and that feel though. Just like how she was saying, you know, she saw it visually, which I did too, especially the part where you said, you know, the mother braiding the daughter's hair. That right there is a huge visual because that's nurturing and that's, you know, mother daughter spending time. So you definitely, you know, is bringing out different aspects as far as, you know, beautiful things being beautiful, because that's beautiful in itself.
Exactly.
Definitely. And then when they say this grandmother's house at Thanksgiving, you know, ain't nothing like your grandma's house at Thanksgiving because there's everything there. And not just the food. There's people, there's cousins you ain't seen, and you know what I mean. Like it is beautiful. Not just is the food beautiful,
right?
But the whole thing is beautiful. And you see your grandma and everybody get you a plate to go. Like you see all of the things that make it beautiful. Like you said, it's not beauty. It's just those moments you have to visualize and realize. Like you said, sometimes people don't realize that is beautiful. Like sometimes you might take those dinners for granted now because grandmas ain't the same way they was. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna go in with 7 cakes and 10 pies and everything. You know, the plates is overflowing. You need 2-3 plates because now everybody like, well, we'll just go get something. Let's have Chick-fil-A. You know, drop us a turkey in the thing, and we'll get some sides from the grocery store. Like it's not the same. Not to say that doesn't make it beautiful, but that right there, I visualize because I saw that beauty. I lived it.
Absolutely. So did I. I was talking about my grandmother.
We talking about all of our grandmothers.
Right.
So yeah, that was
right. And then you know, where you said you know, I see a black man aiming his gun, but I rather see a black man claiming his son. Ooh. So when you reference that, where did that actually come from? Was that something that you know, it's just seeing period, or is that something you wanted to put in there as
that's a very loaded line.
Mm-hmm.
It has there's a lot attached to that line. So the first part of it is black man aiming his gun. I'm drawing attention to the fact that our young black men are quick to pull out a gun and shoot another black man. And then I give you the reverse of it. I would rather see a black man claiming his son, because a lot of those same young black men are running from their responsibilities as fathers, and that's why we have all these young boys being raised by mothers and grandmothers with no male role model. And in a lot of cases, those young people they fall through the cracks of society. And So it was a lot in those two bars. It was a lot there that I was trying to pull out, and hopefully people got it.
I
Right. And that's
definitely got it. So
definitely, and it's good to how you presented it that way.
that
So
was definitely awesome. I'm sorry guys, I gotta step away and close these curtains. This sun is killing me.
okay, and then the verse here where you say, it's a day in the park. So that just goes back to being the whole thing where, the family gets out, goes to the park, and then you also put the ball playing there, the whole basketball aspect of it. And that's something that generations do. Go out to the
I
park and you play basketball.
I remember as when I was very very young, going out to the basketball court was just maybe, I don't know, 300 yards down from my building. We would walk down to the park, and sometimes we would go out there at night. If the street lights were lit up properly and none of the bulbs were out, the court would be lit up pretty good, and you could actually play in the dark, with the street lamps. And
Hmm.
I remember like having like a few, because I was younger, having a few cool, fun games on that court. Because during the day, the older guys was out there, and they wouldn't let the kids even be out there. Like, get out of here. They were playing full court games all day. But once it was dark, they go home, and the court is free, and we would go out there and play. And for me, that was a beautiful moment.
What is this? Why did this pop up? Anyway.
That's from
Um
one of the members in the Facebook group. That's from Seneca. He's posing this question. Are you able to see that? No, on your end.
Um,
I can read it. If not,
the track seems to emphasize a materialistic lifestyle steeped in Eurocentric glamour thrown upon the Afro-Asiatic peoples throughout the diaspora, yet especially in America. With black wealth in America expected to be dissipated by 2053, how do this track address the needs less the desire of I don't that question is so confusing that I'm not even going to attempt to attack that. I don't know what that question is asking.
okay, we'll bypass that one.
Yeah.
well, I
So
got one since
another
we're doing the groups real quick. Let me okay, go ahead,
here's one.
La, and then I'm gonna
So in the group, there's a member wants to know: are there any new projects you're working on?
Yeah, there is. I'm doing another album with Marco Polo. That will be. I have the music. A lot of the music I already have. I just haven't started to write to it yet, and that's because I'm working on a hip hop musical that's kind of
Right.
based on um, the um, the storylines on three of my albums, kind of all merged together into. And I created this musical, this story, this character, loosely based on me, but not really my life. And so I've been writing the songs for that. I have a script. It's not complete. I mean, it's complete, but it's not finished. I got to go back and really tweak it a lot. But I'm at the point now where I'm working on the songs for the musical, and that's really exciting to be creating new music for something that will potentially be rapped and sung on stage by actors. I look
Mm.
forward to that day. It's going to
that's
be a little
that's
while away.
pretty
Yeah.
cool though. Like that's really cool.
So do
Um
you already have the actors and everybody lined up, or no?
No, no, not even close. No, we
Okay.
there's no casting yet. We won't be casting probably till next year at the soonest. I gotta get these songs done. I got most of the songs are there, but there's a lot of work to be done still.
Okay.
Yeah.
so my friend, he wanted to be on the show, but he said he couldn't be on it today, so he was hoping to see you yesterday. And he said that you guys grew up in the same building, and he wanted to make sure that I
What?
mentioned 260 Stone Avenue to him
Who
to
is
you.
that? Who
His
is
name is
that?
Sinclair.
Oh, that's my guy, Sinclair Gray.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's my homie. He
Yeah,
said
get
make
out of
because he
here.
wanted to be on the show, but he had to work, and he was like, make me. We grew up in the same building, and he inboxed me and said, make sure you mention, 260 Stone
Sinclair
Avenue.
Sinclair was one of the cool dudes in the neighborhood. Very cool guy. Not negative at all. Super positive. Um, just a good kid, man. Like, I mean, I'm a little older than him, but we're close to the same age. but he was always super cool. He had this real light voice. Yeah, man. Like he just had this good. He still talk like
He
that.
does, he does. And we're in a group together, one of these Facebook groups, and he's so cool. He's so funny. And we had never heard his voice because, of course, he's in the East Coast and I'm in the West. So we had one day just did a, like the messenger video thing, and we always on there. And we started talking. We was just kind of like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my guy. He's 100% cool. But yeah, he wanted me to make sure I let you know that he wanted to be here, but he wanted to shout you out today.
That's my dude.
He gonna watch it later because he gonna make sure that I mention it.
All right, so your album, the falling season. So explain more about that. You said it was it's autobiography, or like explain more about that.
Yeah, it's definitely autobiographical. It's the one album that I've released that's pretty much follows my life to the letter in terms of what was happening during that time in my life. And it's about my high school years. The album starts with me walking into high school as a freshman, not knowing anybody, and the album ends senior year graduation. So that's where that album takes you. And the reason I called it the falling season is because that is the time in our lives where we can make one mistake during that age. We can make a mistake or make a decision to go in a different direction and completely change the trajectory of our lives, and we can't get it back. And so that's why I called it that. And actually, the musical right now is possibly going to be have that same title.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I'm gonna go in and say ask my classic question, and then I'm gonna ask for my backstage passes. But first, so the question that I ask a lot of the artists that come through is, when you're in this game, when did you realize that you were famous? Like what made you understand like this is it? Like I'm in random Timbuktu and I have fans, or some lady came up to me. Like, when did you know like this is it? Did you sell out a stadium? Like, when did you know, like, man, I'm famous? Like, people really know who I am?
That's hard to say because there's different levels of famous. Like, you could be hood famous. I don't consider myself famous, just for the record, because to me, fame means that the average person knows who you are, and the average person doesn't know who I am. You have to really be ahead, be in the culture, to know even my name, let alone see me and know exactly who I am. But in my early years, when the first video dropped, the video for the symphony dropped, it kind of felt cool to go back around the old neighborhood and people kind of make a little bit of a fuss about you. And so that was probably the first time, was just coming back around the way after the first video dropped and having people, like, yo, man, I saw you, just making a little bit of a big deal about it. Only thing I didn't like was people from the old neighborhood calling me Ace when they know my real name. Like, I never want people that grew up with me calling me Ace. Like, that's my stage name, and if we grew up together, my real name. So I'm cool with you call it. I think they just wanted, out of respect, they didn't want to call me. They thought maybe they didn't want to use that. I didn't want them to use my real name, but I never had a problem with it. Like, Sinclair still calls me Duval to this day.
And that's awesome. I mean, fame, like you said, it can mean anything to anybody. Like it's just a moment where you was like, yeah, this is it. Or, you know what I mean? Like, okay, like you said, after you did the video, for me, it would have been like, after I did the first video, like, once I'm on television, that's it. Like, I don't care if you don't know me at all. To me, it's my level of what I feel like I've achieved. And now I'm like, oh, okay, well, at least I've, just that one kid named him Tamarisha, and I'm good. You know what I mean? So,
right.
But yeah, I understand that, there's different levels, or some people don't see it as fame, but I like to hear the answer, though. You know what I mean? Because being in this game for so long, I know you've had many memories and many things that, you cherish. But I appreciate you sharing that.
So with the whole aspect of longevity, and it's 30 plus years, how do you maintain your youthfulness?
Hip hop keep you young, man. Look at y'all. I mean, y'all keep listening to this music. It keeps you in a certain zone. Like you're connected to your youth through this music. If you want to start listening to Coltrane and Miles Davis, you can become your parents if you want to. But I still listen to hip hop.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I just want to say that when outside open back up and you start doing shows again, I need you to remember my name because I'm gonna come through like Masta Ace, that I can get backstage passes so I can actually meet him in person. So that when they come up, like, man, it's this girl out here, these two girls, saying they Latifah and Tamarisha, and you was on some vinyl whatever show that you said they could have backstage passes. I just want you to be like, yeah, I did say that. So let them back.
No problem. I got you.
Good. And then there's some people that say that they want us to please have you back on the show. So they in the comments saying, that this
They're
was a
asking
really
that.
good show and they appreciate it. They want to see you again.
Okay, but I have to bring this up, and and you can speak on it if you want, because for those that don't know, as far as like your diet lifestyle, because
Yeah,
that's incorporated too in your whole longevity as well, right?
definitely. It was a gradual journey to where I am now, which is fully plant based. I did it in stages over the course of probably 10 years. But I just gradually and very deliberately started to cut out certain foods from my diet because I knew that those foods were harming me potentially long term. And so I just made a conscious effort to start changing my diet, and my relationship with food changed. That was the big thing. A lot of people, they associate food with comfort, with feeling good, with happiness, and I had to change that relationship with food because the taste buds can really be our downfall, and I refuse to be a slave to the taste buds. So I retrained my taste buds. It took time, but I retrained my taste buds so that now the things that I eat, vegan lifestyle, which is fairly new to me because I just stopped eating fish in December. But up to that point where I stopped eating fish, I was eating vegan meals 2 to 3 times a week anyway, like because I wanted to get myself ready for the idea of having a meal with no meat on my plate and and being okay with that. And so that's what I did. I would have a vegan meal, and then maybe the next night I might have some red snapper or some salmon, and then the next night I might have another vegan meal, and that's how I trained myself. And so I reached a point where I didn't miss fish anymore. Like the very last fish meal, my wife made red snapper, and normally I would tear that up, but for some reason, like I was smelling it, and I was feeling like almost a little nauseous, like I didn't want to eat it, and that that's where I am now, and it's helped me a lot.
That's awesome. That is definitely one of those journeys.
Yeah, and you can tell, you still have the youthfulness going on. And then for those that who wanted to get more of the information as what he's talking about on this, because we did another interview on another platform, and I'll post that in here. You guys can hear the full story on it. But yeah, your diet and goes along with your lifestyle. So big ups for doing that. Because I remember
Them
we
them
talked.
grades, them grades still come in though.
Yeah, it don't stop the grace. It don't stop none of that. Well, I only got a couple in my head, but it don't stop the grace though. But it do make you look, very youthful,
It's
and
wisdom.
it's really
Thank you.
good. It's really good. It's wisdom. Yes, very wise. 30 years of
All right,
wisdom in the music.
so can you let everybody know where they can find you at, like all your social media handles?
Yeah. On Twitter, I'm just Masta Ace, Mastaace. On Instagram, Masta Ace Pics, MastaacePics. And on my Facebook fan page is Masta Ace Official.
Okay, we got that, and we'll also put all that in the comments. So, but yeah, Masta Ace, we appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate you having me on.
Appreciate it.
Very appreciative.
Yeah, because these backstories, you don't get, to specific songs. So that's one of the reasons why we actually do this, and also, to take people's mind off what's going on out there in the world, but
Of course,
definitely to find out, what was behind, the lyrics in these specific songs. So it's good to hear that from the actual, person that is behind the lyrics.
It's a cool concept. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Definitely thank you for coming out. There's not enough thanks you can say for you to come and do this with us, and we definitely appreciate it. And yeah, stay safe out there.
Look, on that note, and what we do too towards the end is we ask, and if you can, take us out on a verse, any verse that you like, anything new, old, whatever. You can just take us out.
Well, I just did 2 verses.
You did. Technically, you did, yes.
Yeah, I kind of fulfilled my obligation.
But it wasn't towards the end.
Yeah.
Okay, well then rap the first verse because you only did the first 2, so you can do the 1 and then.
That's true. That's true. Because there was some lines in there that you said that was like, what? Like, nah. That's not All right, so here we go. Listen, I got a lot to say. Usually my smile stay locked away, but not today. I have to laugh on the real. The aftermath's kind of ill, like I'm Dr. Dre. Sometimes I run to the club and get faded. This game makes you get jaded. I just hate it. But this song is a different kind of feeling. It's a new kind of dealing. It's a special kind of healing. And I can show what it is. Best flow in the biz, you know what it is. Positive over negative. See the ace and master. Even when I face disaster, I rise up above. See, people still showing me love. Got the respect without dropping a check. This hip hop thing might stop in a sec. So this brand new hit, you can pop on the deck. It's beautiful.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Appreciate you, sir.
All right. Thank you, Master.
No problem.
Appreciate
no problem.
Have a good night. Stay safe.
Y'all too. All right.
Don't forget about my backstage passes.
I got you covered.
All right.
All right, please.